to the tailors. They all went quite happily.
So, we gladly switched into suits, if we were going to get some more money, get some more gigs.
Brian was a beautiful guy, Brian Epstein, and he was an intuitive, theatrical guy, and he knew we had something he presented us well.
I remember we had to drive down to London on New Year's Eve because we did a set.
And when you hear the tape, it's pretty good. It's not great, but it's good. And it's certainly good for then.
Dick Rowe, the man who didn't sign us, the head of Decca, he said, "Guitar groups are on the way out, Mr. Epstein." So Brian then had this tape which he hawked around. And I think it was somebody in the HMV shop on Oxford Street knew George Martin and told Brian to go and play the tape to George Martin. And then he gave us the audition at Abbey Road.
George had done little of no rock and roll when we met him, and we'd never been in a studio, so we did a lot of learning together. He had a very great musical knowledge and background.
Even though they had nothing really behind them, they were still fairly irreverent even in those days, which I loved. I like a little bit of rebel in people, and I like their sense of humour. After all, that was my main stock in trade too, and I guess they quite liked what I'd been doing with Peter Sellers and the Goons and that kind of thing. I think they had tremendous charisma. I knew that alone would sell them.
And we did a reasonable audition, not very good. But the thing he didn't like was our drummer.
And I said to Brian Epstein, when we do the next session, I don't want to interfere with the Beatles and what you're doing with them, that's fine. But I'm going to provide the drummer.
We really started to think we needed the great drummer in Liverpool.
Historically, it may look like we did something nasty to Pete, and it may have been that we could have done it better. But the thing was, as history also shows, Ringo was the member of the band. It's just that he didn't enter the film until that particular scene,
It was a Wednesday and Brian called. I don't remember John calling though. It's in somebody's book. Would you join the band? And I said, what do you mean? He said, no, really join the band. I said, sure, yeah, when? And he said, now. I said, no, I can't do that. Because we've got these other four guys here. We've got a gig for months, and, I can't just pull out now and it all end. So I said, I'll join you Saturday. Because we used to have Saturday off, because that's when they used to change the campers. So I gave Rory Thursday, Friday, Saturday to bring someone in, because to open again on Sunday, which I thought was giving them a hell of a lot of time. And that was it. We played the Cavern. There was a lot of fighting and shouting. Half of them hated me, half of them loved me.
There was a few people there who were shouting, Ringo never, Pete best forever. And after about half an hour, I said, oh, bugger off or something. And stepped out of this. The Cavern had it was 3 tunnels, and we stepped out of what was the dressing room into this dark tunnel, and some guy just butted me right in the eye. That was a bad day. And then I walked under a bus, got hit by a double-deck bus.
George fought for me.
At this midday session at the Cavern, we proudly present the Beatles.
what actually happened was that when Ringo came to the session for the first time, nobody told me that he was coming. I'd already booked Andy White, and I told Brian Epstein I was going to do this. I said, I just want the 3 others, and that's fine. Ringo turns up expecting to play. I said, well, I've been bitten once. I'm not going to have that. I don't even know you are. We're going to have Andy White, thank you very much.
No, I was devastated. I came down ready to roll, and we've got Andy White, the professional drummer.
Oh dear, that's awful.
But he's apologised several times since as old George Martin. But it was devastating. And then we did that, which Andy plays on, and then we did the album, which I play on. So Andy wasn't doing anything so great. He wasn't doing anything so great I couldn't copy when we did the album.
Oh, Ringo to this day bears those scars. He says, you didn't let me play, did you?